What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, the Chevrolet Corvette C1 by Smokey577, available on the Steam Workshop. Looking absolutely sorry for itself right now. Hopefully, by the end of today's video, it will look considerably better. Fingers crossed on that one. Thank you to Pac-Man over on YouTube for suggesting the colour for this one today. He did suggest a comment of emerald green, and I will try and get it as close to emerald green as I possibly can, because I quite like the idea. I have also added an extra livery. I've changed the colour of these of mine. We'll see all of that a little bit later on. The engine is almost completely missing. In fact, if we jump in, there is no oil pan. There is just the crankshaft, the block itself, but we do have the gearbox and the drive shaft, so we will have to take that one off a little bit later on. But that's what we're working on. The engine in it, if we just jump in very quickly, in we go. It is the Chevrolet Corvette C1, and we've gone for the Restomod edition. And there are 5 different configs available for this one. It is pretty cool. I mean, it is a beautiful, stylish looking car. I think everybody knows what this is. You might not know it as a Chevrolet Corvette C1, but when you see it, you know what it is. It's in your head, I believe, anyway. This is available from all of the places, and we obviously got ours from the auction house, and it is looking very sorry for itself with all that red in the conditions down there. But never mind, we can gloss over that. Did we get a good deal for our cheeky little C1? Absolutely not. We paid $14,065 and I could only sell it for $10,350, losing out on $3,715 before we even begin, which is a shame, but I'm sure we can make this car profitable and maybe, just maybe, make some tasty little winnings on the drag strip. We'll see that a little bit later on as well. The engine in this one is the overhead valve CGM supercharged V8, so we're going to keep that one in there, fully tune it up. In fact, in all honesty, are we just going to go and buy a brand new one? There's not much left of that engine, and it's probably not that good quality. So how about we jump in and we use the TK Basics mod that we've got installed available on Nexus to change this one to fully tuned engines, and we go and buy that V8 single overhead overhead valve CGM supercharged if we can find it. Bear with me. Should have looked for all of this first. Where's the CGM? Is it called something else? Oh, I hope it's not called something else. CGM M1D, CGM supercharged 22,593 for that engine. And obviously that doesn't include the gearbox. So we're still going to have to buy that one a little bit later on. That is a hell of a start to our budget for this car. But there we go. Let's get you on the stand. The fully tuned supercharged CGM. That will be going in there a little bit later on. We're obviously going to do some color stuff on it. Make it look a little bit better, a little bit fancier than it does currently, but I do quite like the chrome supercharger on there, so we may leave that one as it is, because we are going to leave some chrome on this bad boy. We're going to go for a green. Obviously, lots of this chrome bright work, because it doesn't look that bright at the moment, but it will a little bit later on. Then the secondary colour that I've got for these little fin pieces, whatever, coves, fins, whatever you want to call them in there. So it should look a little bit tasty. Hopefully, fingers crossed on that one. And as I said, we will be taking it down the drag strip. We will be able to get this beautiful C1 onto the speeder board. We haven't built anything new onto the speeder board, or at least onto the top 10 of the speeder board, in quite some time. Still got the Barker's Custom F1 sat there at the top of the speeder board with a 7.721 seconds to the quarter of a mile. Still can't break under that 7-second mark. I'm not on this one anyway, so that should be a little bit interesting. But hopefully we might be able to get the C1 under a 9 second, so maybe get it into the top 10 on the speeder board. Who knows? We'll find out as we go on. But we need to get started with this beautiful C1, so let's get this one into the car wash, and I'm going to get it all cleaned up. She's all clean, and yet somehow she looks considerably worse than she did before. That body is atrocious. We have definitely got our work cut out getting this one all back together today. I can't believe how rusty that body is. I mean, the rims, absolutely everything has rusted away. I think this one fell into the ocean and has only just been recovered. It spent a good few years down there, in my humble opinion. But there we go. Let's get cracking. We know what we need to do. There's no oil pan. We've already checked that. So let's just get this beast up into the air and start stripping a few bits off. See what we've got going on down here. I'm pretty confident we've got quite a bit missing, but suspension-wise, it might be all there because we do have all 4 wheels. So let's jump in and let's take a look. If we jump in underneath, I'm not going to start with the suspension. I'm going to start up here with our engine. Obviously, one thing I know I'm missing, and I'm going to add it to my shopping list right now, is that cheeky little starter, so that we don't miss that one there. And we do have some downpipes, but I can get them in a bit. That's no problem. Just once you take the gearbox out, you've got no access to the starter. So out with our lovely little drive shaft. Off you come. Oh, our first rusty bolt. Only 8 bolts in. There we go. Out you come. And then we should be able to take off this gearbox. Just the 1 rusty bolt on that out of 3, so not too bad. And then that'll be it. And we can just lift that block out. And although we're going to bin all of that off, or scrap all of that off, because we won't be using any of that. I didn't mean to come out of there. I meant to stay in here. Now that we've done that, we'll take the block out in just a minute. Let's take a look at the suspension without putting it into the floaty mode. We've got a few little clipping items, which just means I might make these rims a little bit bigger and the tyres a little bit smaller later on, so that we don't get none of that. But apart from that, I think the suspension is all there. We've got both upper and lower arms. We've got the shocks. We've got the sway bar end links. We've got the sway bar. Couldn't quite see it there. Steering rack, the inner and outer tie rods are both there. So the front suspension does look pretty complete. And if I could get down the back, we'll double check that, but that all looks complete as well. As I said, the wheels are on, and that's normally a good sign. It does look like we've got everything, all the springs set up there, all of the bushings, all the arms. Yes, it looks like it's all there. We've got all of the arms, 1, 2, 3, and obviously the one the springs are sat on. So perhaps the suspension is all there. So let's crack on. We're going to get all of these wheels off, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to disappear for a minute and get all of the suspension repaired, replaced, upgraded, probably replaced. I mean, look at the state of all of that. It looks absolutely terrible, but there we go. We'll repair whatever we can up to shiny and new condition, buy what we have to buy, and then we can start getting this beautiful little vet all back together, ready to take on the drag strip a little bit later on. But before we do that, we need to get all this bodywork sorted and get this beautiful car a fresh new coat of paint, hopefully looking absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to crack on with that now, and I'll see you in just a moment. That's everything upgraded and replaced, because we haven't managed to repair anything to go back on this vehicle as of yet. Maybe, just maybe, something will come up. But now it's time to get stuck into all of this bodywork. We've obviously got a headlight there. I don't think we've got much else from this front end, if I'm being truly honest. It doesn't look like it. Not sure there. Nothing on the... Oh, front clamshell. You can definitely come out. Oh, that's exciting. Maybe that means we can change colours. Not that I don't think I want to. I like the fact that the dial is still there. But anyway, let's carry on around. See what else we've got here. No tail light. Do have a rear license plate, so you need to come out. And you need to come off of there. Are you a piece? You're not. That might actually be everything, but we'll just jump in and grab our one interior item, which is just our seat just there. Probably going to stick with them seats just because they fit really well. Maybe we'll play with the colours. We shall see. Or even the finish. We shall see a little bit later on. But is that genuinely everything stripped off this car? Body at 1%, but I'm sure that was already there. It does show bare frame here, so it does look like we have got everything off. We'll just go into here and make sure. Yep, nothing on there. Frames at 10%, and we bought the car for just over, and I mean just over 14,000. So what do we reckon? I'm going to go 1,500 for today, I think. 1,500? Is it? 4,500. I get the feeling this car might sell for just a little bit. There we go. Let's get you repaired. Let's jump in and take a look at the shop for the beautiful Chevrolet Corvette C1. I'm already in it, but I'll just show you. For mod cars from the Steam Workshop, or I believe mod cars from anywhere, Fresh Import Goods, Community Cars Body Shop is where you get your body parts from. Corvette C1. Obviously, I've got it in the shop, so it's right there for me. So we'll click on that one, and we'll see what options we've got. Side pipe exhaust. Oh, they're all listed. Fantastic. Excellent work by Smokey there. So if you've got the standard or the Fuelie model, you can go for either of these two exhausts. One steel, one in chrome. If you've got the Restomod, which is the one we've got side chrome exit exhaust or rear chrome exit exhaust. We shall see. Probably going to go for the side pipes because I do like a cheeky bit of side pipe. And if you've got a supercharged one, we have got a supercharged one, so we maybe have to put that one on. We shall see a bit later on. There's that exhaust there. Then we've got a couple of badge options. If you've got the Fuelie and Restomod, you can use fuel injection badges. we could use them if we wanted to. I don't think we're going to. I think we're probably going to use the delete on them. Then we've got a selection of engine covers and an engine cover delete. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of engine covers, but this one doesn't look too bad. So we shall see. But it isn't for ours. It's for the Restomod. We'll see if that fits, either of them. Maybe. We'll find out. Obviously, we don't want the Kia 2 or Voodoo. We haven't got an LS3, but it's got a little... I don't know. We'll see if any of them fit a bit later on. If not, we can just go for the engine cover delete. We got a couple of front bumper options, one with the license plate and one without. Then you got interior color options. Now, obviously, you could go for that shiny red, but we're not using red on ours today. Green and red might be a bit weird, and green and blue might also be a bit weird. So we might stick with the black, but who knows? We shall see a bit later on. Only the one front end option. I think I'm going to leave that one as it is because we've got quite a bit of chrome going on this one. And then even the door cards, you can match them to the interior as well. Absolutely fantastic work by Smokey. I'll say it again. Then we got window up and window down options. That should save us a bit of money for the windows. Maybe we'll go windows down. Doors for the other side, window for the other side. Hood and hood with a cutout if you want to have something sticking up through it, I suppose. Maybe for a custom config. I don't know if there is one for that. Headlight, mirror and tail lights all there. Two different bumper with integrated exhaust. Ooh, that might be cool for another build. We haven't got integrated exhaust, so we'll just go with the backup lights on there. Then you've got the rear clamshell options, which is the latches, no hood, hardtop paintable, hardtop black vinyl, soft top white. I'm assuming paintable in the with quality of life mod. Headlights, tail lights. No mirror for the other side. Maybe this doesn't have one. I'm not sure. Trunk piece and a windshield. So not too many parts to go on this one. It is nice and simple. That bodywork looks so much better now it's sorted out. And I do quite like it with the white fenders. Well, the white coves. Whatever you want to call that piece there. In the white. We shall see. But I'm not sticking with that grey. That is for definite. But anyway, there we go. Frame is all sorted. I'm now going to go and repair any body panels I can repair. Probably none. Replace what I have to replace and get this one all back together. You'll see it all going back together and then we'll drop it into the paint shop, check out the colours and see what we've done with our custom coves and whether we'll use them or not. It depends what looks better with the green. Well, that settles it. Nothing apart from the body on this car is original. Everything is brand new. Body parts, all the engine, all the suspension, absolutely everything on this, apart from what you see in the screen right now, is a brand spanking new. This is obviously the original frame. So there we go. We didn't manage to repair much of this little car, but let's get on and start getting it back together. I will say that that piece under there, that does fit with this engine. You probably already knew that and were probably shouting at me in the comments, but there we go. Let's just crack on and start getting it back together. The headlights were just the headlights. The front end was just the front end. The one thing that is different is I tried to put the other bumper on it. I'll put it on just so you can see. No license plate holder. I will sell that one off in a moment. But because of the config, it still wants the license plate on the front there. So for the time being, we'll probably come back and do another one of these custom at some point. But we're going to stick the one with the license plate on just so we can get our blank plate on there. I'm going to do that now, but I've already got plates on me. So we'll just put them on very quickly and hide it. On with the hood, we'll pop you on there. And then I'm just going to open you up. I forgot it open that way, just so we can pop that cheeky little engine cover in there. Might be floating for the moment, but we want to get all the body panels on, just so we can check we've got everything. Especially with these little pieces on the side, I missed these for ages when I was reassembling it. Obviously, I don't want the ones that say fuel injections, I just want to leave it blank, so I'm going to put some blanked ones on there. Nice and simple. For the minute, the exhaust is just a side chrome exhaust Restomod. May have to change it, we'll see a little bit later on. It should be fine though. The doors, we've gone for black interior because we've gone for the... That's the windshield, but all right, we'll go with you first, and then we'll go with that front clamshell, which is the black interior on there. I like it. It's got chrome in there. It's nice and dark. The carpet's a bit grey. It looks pretty good. Lovely chrome mirror on the side there, which we're probably not going to change the colour of, but we'll go around to the other side and get you on. Oh, another part that you want to make sure you don't forget, especially on this model, because the windows are already down, is to make sure you put the window downs in. I forgot this as well and was wondering why it wasn't completing. There we go. Then we got a cheeky little trunk piece. Obviously our wonderful tail lights on you go and on you go there. Then our classic rear bumper. as it is with the reverse lights instead of the exhaust cutouts, although the exhaust cutouts would be incredible, but I feel like I want to do a full custom exhaust on this at some point. So we'll just get another blank plate on for the time being, so we don't have to look at them again for a minute. And then the extra piece for the bodywork is this rear clamshell. This is where you could have had the soft top, the hard top, the fabric hard top, so on and so forth. We're keeping it convertible because why not have extra danger on the drag strip? Obviously, don't ever do that in real life. Make sure you have roll cages if you're drag racing your cars, please. Safety first. Anyway, top down with the latches on there, extra splashes of chrome. I think that's everything. I'm really not 100%, so we'll go in and we'll double check. That's not the screen I want. That's the one I want. Body and frames all now up to 100%. Let's get our interior in. It is the Typhoon seats, so we are sticking with them. They do come in red and blue as well, but again, they don't go with our color wheel that we're going to be using, so we're just going to stick with the black for the time being, or the dark for the time being. We may swap it or add some color a bit later on. Steering wheel, I've gone for the Virtual Mechanic steering wheel because they're fantastic and I love them. We'll just quickly jump in and do a flyby and see how well that actually fits in. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, realistically, you could have gaps between the bolts. You would put spaces in there in real life, but it is what it is. It looks half decent, so we'll leave that as that. Let's jump on, though. Is that definitely everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. It definitely is. Let's get the beautiful little C1 into the paint shop, pick some colours, and see what I've done for the little bit extra. It's painting time for our beautiful C1. This is a stunning looking car. Absolutely fantastic. Excellent work by Smokey. First off, though, let's check out some factory colours. Obviously, you're going to have the gloss red on there, looking very, very nice. A gloss black as well, and a gloss white, just in case. A couple of different variations of blue, like a teal on there, and then a darker blue, and then a medium blue. Oh, that's a metallic finish instead of a gloss finish. It's a bit lighter, but it also seems a bit darker at the same time because of the metallic. And we got a gloss red, greeny silver, not what we're going for today. Then a classic grey, like I would call that, like the Aston Martin sort of grey. And then a bit of a duller gloss red, but we're not going to stick with any of them. We're going to do our own. So I'm going to go into, not into here, I want to go into here, and I move this to 150, this up to 100, this up to 70, but we are on the wrong finish. I'm going to move it over to a metallic finish. I do think that is the green we are going to go for. So it's, I wouldn't know if I would call it emerald green, but it's about as close as I can sort of visually make it. Obviously, if you Google emerald green right now, you'll see that there's about 80 different versions of emerald green. Every company says emerald green is different. I've gone for this one. I think it looks as close to what it as I could possibly make in the metallic finish as well. It does look quite nice, but we aren't finished with that yet. We're going to go backwards through the liveries because my one comes first, so we'll go backwards through. These are ones you get with it as standard. The Cove painted in white in both sides. It looks absolutely fantastic. That's all there is to it. We go back another one. You've got a silver coving in there as well. It looks quite good. The one we've gone for, the one I have added myself, is a cheeky little black one, just because it goes well with the green and this wonderful black interior on there. It looks very, very nice. That is what we're going to go for on there. I think it looks pretty good. We've got one more thing to do, and that is I'm going to make the bolts, not the rims, the bolts everywhere else, or the screws and bolts, whatever you want to call them, into a version of this green. But because they don't finish with the metallic finish, I've gone for a bit of a darker finish on them to hopefully get them to match this a little bit more. We should see it a bit later on. In fact, what I'm going to do, oh, you can see the blue coming through as we paint it there. Definitely in that paintwork, a lot of blue. But we're going to come out of that mode. We're going to open this one, and we're going to jump into here, into the engine. And I do believe I've got an ABS pump. That's what I wanted to see. So we'll pop you on quickly with the module on top, and that should give us a look at the green of these bolts. Now, is that a bit too dark? If we go over to this side, jump into photo mode, this is how I sort of test it. Get the two greens in. That is, in my opinion, a little bit too dark. So we do want to come up with the brightness a little bit. I'm going to leave that on. Go back into paint car. We're going to make sure we got all our colours set. Back to metallic on that one. That should be the right. Yes, it is. Back onto here. Make sure we've got our livery on. There we go. And then back into this. And I want to, what do I want to do? I want to make him a bit brighter. So we'll go up to 60. We'll spray again. Lovely blue colouring on there. Get the hood open again once it's finished doing its work. There you go. And then we'll have a look at these bolts. We'll go to photo mode and see if they're a bit better. It still looks a little dark, but I think that's going to be all right. It's not going to be too bad. It's obviously not going to match. Oh, now I see it looks... Yeah, I want to make it... Do I want to make it brighter? It doesn't look too close. One more. We'll do one more. I'm going to go up. I'm not going to go all the way up to 70 because I know that that's not going to work. Back through our selections again. Make sure we're in metallic. Make sure we've got the livery on. Back into here. All right, maybe we will just try 70 and see what it comes out like. Because the bolts normally finish in a different type of finish. I want to say gloss, but I'm not sure. We'll open you up. We'll go back into photo mode. And this will be the last time I make you watch. Oh, that does look a little bit better already. So maybe we should, if we're using metallic, we should keep the bolts and the paintwork in the same hue sort of finishes. Maybe, just maybe. Well, there we go. That's it for the time being. Let's jump in there and just get you off because we don't want you necessarily on there for the moment. Off you come and off you come. And that is the car painted. Although I have thought that I do want to keep quite a bit of this chrome. Obviously, all of this I'm going to keep up around here. We've got chrome around the lights, a bit of chrome on the trunk there. We've got a chrome exhaust, chrome going around the coving, and then obviously chrome around the headlights and these wonderful stripes going up towards the windshield there. But what I'm thinking is maybe we take the front bumper off and make that a black, but keep the chrome underneath, or reverse that. I'm going to try a few different things and see what I like. If we go down to the back, the reason I'm not sure is because I think I want this rear bumper in black, not in the chrome. And if I do that, I think I want the front bumper also in black, so it sort of matches. But I don't know whether I'd prefer the front end underneath it or the front bumper. So I'll try a few things, see what I like. Maybe we'll try and put some textures on these seats or make them a little bit darker so they sort of match a bit more to what's going on down here. But they do match the interior really well. So maybe we'll just play with the finish on the seats, like maybe leather finish or something like that. We shall see as we go on. We've obviously got a lovely bit of green on the steering wheel as it is at the moment, which I might keep because there is obviously chrome and silver going on inside this cockpit, as I will call it. But there we go. That's where we're at to so far. It's all looking pretty good. I'm going to get the engine all painted. Again, it's going to be as realistic looking as I can still make it look cool. Does that make sense to you? It does sort of in my head, but it might not. But anyway, same with the suspension, sort of realism, but cool and a little bit over the top. We'll see how it all comes out. I say will. I'm going to go and make it all come out. You'll see how it all comes out in just a couple of moments when we come back with the car on the lifter with some bits already on it, ready to go back together and shoving in that supercharged CGM motor. She's all painted and ready to go, looking pretty good in this emerald-ish green and black on there. We did decide to go with the front end in the black at the front there with the chrome bumpers. I still think it looks quite nice. It's quite mean looking, still quite aggressive, but also the our little coves or side pods, whatever you want to call them, they're sort of curved, so it matches in that the black should be curved like that. I really like it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. In we go, round we go. We're going to open up this door here because I haven't put the seats in yet, so I'm going to crack on and get on that done now. So it is the Typhoon seats. They are in a black, but they've got a leather finish on them, so they've got the little poked in holes. You know what I mean. I think it looks pretty good there. We also put a bit more darkness on this steering wheel. Close that door. They are some thick doors. A little bit more dark on the steering wheel, taking some of the grey out of the actual wheel itself, but keeping the silvery / chrome bolts in there, along with our green Virtual Mechanic logo. Looking good. Open up the trunk onto our battery. Almost finished with that one. We just got to put the tray bracket on the top, which is obviously the Chevrolet one in that green with the whatever you call that logo in the main green with the darker green on the base underneath it. On we go, round we go. We've got some brake calipers to go on, but we'll look at the rest of the suspension. Chromed central pieces, black going all the way out, all the way around. Obviously, these are all steel black from the Quality of Life mod available on TK Aftermarket. Fantastic on that one. Links in the description below, as always. Then, obviously, our spring setups all in that matte black, steel black, should I say, with matte green bushings on there with some black inserts and then our little green bolts on the top. You can see it's pretty close. Not a perfect match, but still very good. Anyway, on with our brake calipers, which we have done in the beautiful green, and they are obviously the Brumbo brake calipers from TK Aftermarket. Let's get all of these on all the way around, and then we can jump on to finishing that engine, which is currently on the engine stand. So let's get you on there. One more to go down the back here. On you go. We'll take a quick look at the front suspension, and then we'll go and build the rest of that engine and check out the engine bay in a moment. Come off of that mode just so we can see a bit better. It's pretty much the same as the black with the chromed cross member, the matte bushings, and obviously the steel black on the upper and lower control arms, along with on the shocks as well there. We've got a green intercooler, black radiator. It's all looking quite nice, but let's go and build that beautiful, beautiful engine. In we go. The supercharged CGM. She's looking pretty good on there. The block, we haven't changed the colour at all, or the oil pan. I've just left it as it is because it still fits in quite well. And as I said, I'm going for a little bit more realism going forward. We do have some chrome black on these pieces, although that hasn't come out too chrome in the middle there. It looks very dull, but it is what it is. And then obviously we've got some chrome going on all the way around. A few little extra bits with the body coloured green on the idle rollers and things like that. So let's crack on and get this all finished, starting with our head covers, which are in that body match green, looking fantastic. The bolts that I'm doing up now should go that green once we put it in the car. Fingers crossed. I have had it fail on me once or twice before, but it is what it is. Then we got our ignition coils. I've just done them in a black. See, I thought I did think about keeping them in that performance part red, but I just thought we've got a green and black theme going on. We're not using any red, especially as I decided to keep the brake calipers in a green, or keep them in a green. Make them a green this time rather than keep them in the red. So no red on this one, just some blacked out ignition coils on there. Looking quite good. Then we've got our supercharger on the top. Looking fantastic in a green and chrome. Obviously, mostly in that chrome. We just took the red out of it and made it a bit of green on there. Last pieces to go on the front there. We've got one more belt, which is just in a matte black, and the last idle roller just in there. Looking good. And we nip round to the side. We'll get our exhaust manifolds in, which are chromed out to go with them chrome side pipe exhausts that we had on earlier. Let's crack on with this. On you go. A couple more pieces left to go on this one. We got our fuel rails just up here, which are in green and a steel black. Can't really see the steel black. There's a little bit of it on there. But as we go around, let's get the other one. On you go. And then the last piece to go on the engine before we drop it in the car is this throttle, which is in green and steel black, just to give it a bit of definition up there. Looking very, very nice. I think that engine looks fantastic. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments. Let's get it off the stand and let's get it dropped into this beautiful C1. We're going to open that hood up. We're going to run around here and grid the crane, and we're going to get it installed and we're going to check it out. It's going to look fantastic. We've got a couple more pieces still to go on, so let's put the crane away. Very, very nice. And one thing I will show you now is we're going to reattach the engine cover body part, which I have painted in a green and chrome. So we've got a little of that body coloured green on there, and a little bit of green on the air filter, which does match in with the colour on the top there. And also, if I could just about see it, the colour of the fuse box just down there, hiding away. Have to look through it through a little gap. But there we go. I like that. I think it's looking very nice. Let's get it up in the air. We'll go into normal mode for that. Get the last few pieces on, get some wheels on, get this beautiful Corvette all finished off and ready to go down the drag strip. Hopefully, it's going to be pretty good. Starting with the gearbox then. We got that one in a green and steel black. Obviously, mostly steel black with a bit of green around the outside. Our front exhaust sections are obviously performance ones, chromed out, and they do line up with all of the rest of the exhaust, the side pipe system that we've got set up there. In with the starter, just blacked out on that one there, and obviously we've got our lovely green bolts. Oh, look at them, they look fantastic on there. Very pleased with how that turned out. We'll get the drive shaft in, and then let's get some wheels on this beautiful Vette. On you go there, and down the back. If I could move my mouse quick enough. Can't even speak. And there we go. We can drop you back down, because now we've just got to get these wheels on. And we do like it a bit lower when we put the wheels on. So what I've gone for today is not the Rim Classic 18. I've gone for the Fairlady Z rims. For the fronts, we've gone for a 19-inch rim with an ET of 20, so just bringing it out 20 from the inside of the car outwards. It's a 245 width on the tyre there with a 30 profile for the fronts. On you go, and they are in a beautiful green and black, looking very, very nice on there. Down to the rears, these are a 19-inch rim, same size, but a 275 width on the tyre and a 35 profile. So just a bit more rubber to burn at the back there. And no ET, because this wheel is wide enough to fit on. Now let's get the other side on, get this one on the ground, and see that fitment of the wheels. That's definitely the back one. On you go there. Want to make sure you get all the sizes the right way round. Up to the front. Last rim to go on. On you go. And we'll come out of this mode, get it dropped down, and see what she looks like. Well, I think we will close that hood now. We don't need that open anymore. Beautiful engine in there, but we'll close you up. It's not too shabby. The front wheel maybe a little bit small. Maybe. No, I'm still quite happy with it. I like the size of the rear and the depth of the rear. They stick out just a little bit, so they could have been a little bit thinner, but the fronts are looking pretty good in my opinion. Let's just double check we have got everything. Make sure I haven't missed anything out. 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. That's what we like to see. Beautiful little Corvette finished. Let's get it outside in the sun before doing it on a dyno run. She's outside in the sun, looking absolutely fantastic in that green. Loving it. But anyway, let's get this finished off with our blank plates, and on with the plates you may or may not have seen earlier. NV1, given that it is green with envy. I should have done a drum beat noise, shouldn't I? Hold on. There we go, I think. It didn't seem to work for me. Hopefully you guys heard it, because I certainly did not. And that was very weird. I don't know what's going on there. But there we go. Front and rear NV plates on there. Looking absolutely fantastic. But let's jump into this little green NV Corvette and see what that supercharged CGM sounds like. That dashboard looks fantastic in there. I see why the tack in the middle stayed there as we go on. But there we go. Let's get it started and see what she sounds like. Nice grumble on there. Let's give it some gas and hear that supercharger whine. Ooh, lovely whiny sound at the top end there. Do like that one. I do like a little whiny engine now and then. Not as much as I do like a cheeky turbo whistle, but it is what it is. The interior is fantastic in here. Excellent work by Smokey. I'm loving that. And I do like the fact that you can colour coordinate the interiors. You can have red, blue, or the black like we've gone for here. It is a fantastic option. But anyway, let's get out of this beast, get it onto the dyno before we take it drag racing. On the dyno with NV1, our Restomod Corvette C1. 623 factory horsepower from that supercharged V8. How much have we added today with all our performance parts and our tuning? Let's have a look. A gain of 602 horsepower, 97%, almost a brand new engine on top of the pre-existing engine. Not quite, but very, very close. Bringing us up to a whopping 1,225 horsepower from this absolute monster, and a drag rating of a 999. Not too shabby, quite pleased with that. Should do pretty well on the drag strip. We'll find out in a moment. Before we head over there, let's have a look at the gearbox tune. This is what I've gone for today. Just under 150 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to a reported 531 in fifth. I don't think we'll quite get there in a quarter of a mile, but we shall see what our top speed turns out at. We obviously have a fully tuned Stage 3 ECU, giving us 16% additional tuning. And if you haven't seen the short yet on how to easily do this, it's linked in the description below and in the top right-hand corner just up here. Make sure to check that one out. There's also a link in the description for the carburetor tuning. If you haven't seen that one yet, go and check that one out as well. But anyway, enough of this. Let's get our beautiful C1 onto the drag strip and see what she can do. Let's see what our beautiful little vet can do on the drag strip. Obviously, we're in A-class with this little beast. So, King of the Sands, quarter of a mile, and we have to pay our 1,000 entry fee. Who have we got? Plenty of Hoonicorns. I can already see that. Payne's in a Hoonicorn. Cope the Koala's in a Hoonicorn. Barker's in a Hoonicorn. Have we got any other friends in here today? It doesn't look like it. I might have missed someone's name. I apologise if I have. But plenty of unicorns. An extra Ford up here. A couple of the both electric Ferraris. Both electric Ferraris in there. The Alenti Calope. That's a pretty badass vehicle. I made that one myself. The VM Drag Edition. But our first race is against the Drag Edition of the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. Are we going to be able to beat it in our first run? Hopefully we can make it a little bit further through. I'd like to at least earn back what I spent to enter the drag tournament. So let's give it a go with our first race against the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. Gotta love that Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. It always looks fantastic. I don't know if I'd quite do it in that sort of colour scheme. I don't think the chrome really fits that build too well. I'd probably black all of that chrome work out, but it still looks fantastic nonetheless. And it is a very powerful vehicle. It's not quite a unicorn, but there we go. We'll be able to beat it on the drag strip with our beautiful C1. And let's find out. Let's go. Come on, you green machine. Off the line. May have been early, very early into second. I hope we can survive that. I've really messed that up, haven't I? We are still surviving it. We're going to make it across the line. Not the best time in the world, I can promise you that one. A 9.084. Although that may just about squeeze itself onto the top 10 speederboard. Theoretically, but I think we can do better than that. I did a terrible gear change, but we still managed to win our first race by just about half a second. Hot Wheels Bone Shaker, see you later. We're into the next round. Let's see who we're up against. It's probably a unicorn. Well, we've lost all our friends apart from Carb the koala in his unicorn. Plenty of unicorns left to go. In fact, the only cars that aren't unicorns are the Corvette we're currently running and my drag edition Alenti Calope, or one of them. The other one managed to lose out to a unicorn. So there we go. I imagine this one's going to lose to a unicorn, and I'm not quite sure how we'll do against a version 2. There is only one way to find out. Let's get on with it. Let's get drag racing. I mean, we might see the unicorns all the time, but that livery, or all of the liveries for the unicorns, are fantastic. Excellent work by French Toast for them. Obviously, not the original designer, but the person who managed to get them all into the game. They look fantastic. The mod, obviously, by Dead Bob, a.k.a. Payne, so you know where to grab that one. We've seen it a million times. But now we've got to try and beat it. It's Chevrolet versus Ford. Who is going to win this drag race? Hopefully a better gear change from us. Let's go. Come on, you little beast. Off the line. We're definitely going to do better. I'm going to wait till that one there. That felt like a better gear change. In we go. Oh, we are beating the unicorn and across the line. Love to see that. An 8.716 seconds. That's definitely on the top 10 speederboard and considerably better than our first run. A 284 kilometers an hour. Not too shabby. Although we did only just beat that unicorn. Just over 200ths of a second. Just under 200 of a second. Maths, I can do it. But there we go. Absolutely fantastic. We've made it through to the semi-finals. Are we going to face off against another unicorn? I imagine so. But let's go find out. Well, Nathan in the Alenti Calope bringing it in, making it through to the semi-finals as well. Unicorn versus Alenti Calope. Unicorn versus the Corvette C1 Restomod. Hopefully we can knock out another unicorn and make it to the final and hopefully face off against the Alenti Calope rather than just having a whole run of unicorns. As much as we love the car, we don't like drag racing against them all the time. So let's get on with it. One last unicorn, hopefully leading us to the final. Fingers crossed it is the last unicorn. At least it is a different version, different livery, not quite as fancy as the last one, but still a cool livery nonetheless. Corvette versus Ford. Wait, that would be Corvette versus Mustang, wouldn't it? Chevrolet versus Ford, Corvette versus Mustang. Who is going to take this win? That was terrible, I do apologise. But anyway, let's get on with this drag race. Let's go. We've got to beat this to make it to the final. Off we go. Best gear change, just about there, I think. That's the one. Into third. Oh, yes, the gear change ruined the unicorn. We've taken another victory against another unicorn. I absolutely love that. 8.768. Was it as good as our last run? 8.716, so not quite. And slightly slower, only 283 kilometers an hour. So the launch obviously wasn't as good as I thought it was. But there we go. We've managed to make it by just about 100ths of a second in this one, but we've made it into the final. Will we be up against a unicorn, or will we be up against my custom drag Alenti Calope? Let's go find out and hopefully take all of that prize money. The Elenticope managed to beat the Unicorn, which means we don't have to race another Unicorn in the final. The Elenticope VM Drag versus the Chevrolet Corvette C1 Restomod. Who is going to take this final victory and take all of the prize money from this drag tournament? Fingers crossed it's us. Let's go. Absolutely slammed that Elenticope when we built it with that V8 in the back. Looking absolutely beautiful. I mean, I know the engine was originally in the back, but we had to take out the engine cover and all stuff like that and make it fit, which is why it's at a funny angle. Hence why I've got the camera up here so we can just about see that engine in the back. It's going to be quite hard to beat. I know that. It's already knocked out 2 Unicorns. I know we've already knocked out 2 Unicorns, but who's going to take our final run? A Elenticope created by me versus the Corvette C1 by Smokey on Steam. Let's find out who's going to be victorious in the final. Let's go, you beautiful little Chevrolet. Off the line, get the gear. Wow, that thing is quick off the line. I do remember it being fast, but can it hold it? No, it cannot, as we fly past and cross the line and take in the victory with an 8.844 seconds. Not our best run of the day, but that doesn't matter. We've managed to win a tournament. 283 kilometers an hour, not quite as good as our second run, which was 284, which will be the one that goes on the speederboard, and I believe it'll be somewhere in the top 10. Let's go and collect our winnings, get this beautiful Chevrolet back to the garage and see if we could sell it on for a nice bit of profit. There's our drag strip winnings. I haven't seen that figure in there in a very long time. 11,250, especially after we only paid 1,000 to enter. Hits us 10,250 up before we started. And does that mitigate what we spent at the beginning? It does. The overspend we had on the car at the beginning is already mitigated by our drag strip winnings. Let's get all of this added up, get it on so you can see some facts and figures, how much the car cost us and everything like that. See if we can make a profit and also see what we've got coming up next. We're back from the drag strip, about to find out where the Corvette came on the speederboard. It's definitely in the top 10, but what position? But before we jump into there, I need to say another huge congratulations to S1 for the Christmas competition build. Obviously, S1 won the round before as well with the beautiful Ricer. But this Christmas build, or the cold rod as he called it, absolutely fantastic. It is a beautiful build. This was our Christmas themed competition over the Christmas period, obviously, and just, it's joyous. I absolutely love it. I listed it as the sleigh that Santa uses when the reindeers aren't quite feeling up to it. Big V8 powered beast. Absolutely fantastic. Beautiful work by S1. The new competition is up and running. Go and check it out on the official Red Dot Games Discord server. Link to the description below and on screen for you to enjoy. Now go and check it out. We always have some fun. I can't even remember what the round is this time. Oh yeah, Italian Stallions. So any of the Italian builds, mod, law, doesn't matter what you want to use for this one. You can use anything. Go and have some fun with it. As I said, link in the description below. But anyway, where did our beautiful Corvette come on the speederboard? 7th place for the Chevrolet Corvette C1 Resto with 1,225 horsepower, 8.716 to the quarter of a mile, keeping the two Chevrolet Camaros together, keeping the two Chevrolets together, should I say. Top speed of 284 kilometers an hour, which is faster than the Camaro, 176 miles per hour. Absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed our beautiful C1, but there we go. Enough of that. Let's get outside, look at some facts and figures, and see what's coming up next. It's time for some facts and figures. We bought the car at the beginning of the episode for 14,065, losing out on 3,715 if we were to sell it there and then. But we obviously didn't do that. We spent 27,307 buying everything brand new for the suspension and engine bay, including the exhaust and everything like that. For the engine and the liquids topped up, obviously a brand new engine, a gearbox and starter was 25,299 once you add it all together. For the bodywork, interior and getting that frame sorted cost us 30,808. For our beautiful wheels and tyres, that was 11,572. Our MV1 private plates were 1,700. And the painting finishing was 18,700. Quite a bit on that one today. We did also take it into a drag tournament, costing us 1,000 to enter, but we did win that tournament. taking home a prize money of 11,250, putting our total spend for this beautiful C1 at 119,201. Is there some money to make from this beautiful little car? I certainly hope so. Let's get in, get off the B-roll, and let's find out. Here she is, our beautiful C1, always looking fantastic, always looking fantastic. I mean, it is a good-looking car, so I suppose that does state, but our version looks even better. Thank you again to Pac-Man for suggesting the emerald green. I'm not sure if we've completely solved the emerald green issue, but it still looks good nonetheless, especially that engine in there with its steel black chrome and a few green accents just finishing it off. But anyway, the real question is, we spent 119,201 to get this car to here. Can we make some money from it? It is obviously fully complete, all now up to 100%, and obviously a drag rating of a 999. The C1 Corvette is the dragster you didn't know you needed, and I do think you do need this one. We managed to tune that CGM supercharged engine from 623 horsepower to 1,225, and obviously winning the drag tournament, beating out a couple of unicorns as well. So pleased with that. Very, very pleased with that. But is there some money to be made? Yes, there is a lot of money to be made from this beautiful car. 672,799 is our sale price. Take away what we spent, 119,201, leaves us with a profit of 553,598 from this beautiful car. Absolutely fantastic. If you want to grab this mod, it's on the Steam Workshop. Links in the description below, but it is very easy to find. Once again, well done to Smokey577 for creating it. It is fantastic. But it's now time to say goodbye. Off you go. We'll take our $500,000 profit. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I'm appreciative of that. And let's go check out what we've got coming up next. Now, some of you have probably already seen this one on the Steam Workshop. Very squared. I quite like it. I'm a bit of a fan for the square bodies and stuff like that. This is the Chevrolet Opala. Yes, we're going back to another Chevrolet. This is the Diplomat SE Special Edition, and there is only the one config available, so that's the one we're going for. I do believe it is available in all the places. I know mine says it is, but that isn't always correct because I adjust it to make sure I can always buy stuff from the auction house, the bad auction house. So just bear that in mind. It might not be exactly the same as yours. The engine in this one is an i6 overhead valve engine, pumping out 161 horsepower. Now, there's lots of V8 swaps on this one, but I get the feeling if we V8 swap it, the exhaust isn't going to line up. So I don't think we can do that. I think we need to keep this i6 in here, which is a bit of a shame. In fact, can we jump in here? Can I get in anywhere and have a look? Yeah, it's going to have that straight exhaust, isn't it? And obviously all of the V8s have got twin outlets, so I do think we're going to have to keep that i6 in there, but never mind, that is what it is. I'm looking forward to it. Chevrolet Opala should be a bit of fun, so do make sure to join us back here next Thursday when we'll be taking on the beautiful Chevrolet Opala, which I am almost definitely pronouncing wrong, but there we go. It is what it is. What did you think of our beautiful C1 Corvette Chevrolet today? I really enjoyed it. That green came out absolutely fantastic. It was a beautiful, beautiful build, and I will make those black coving liveries available to all of my channel members. These guys on screen, all absolute legends. Thank you so much. I do appreciate every single one of you. And if you want to join now to get access to that livery and all the other liveries that I create along with my custom configs as well, click that join button below for £2.99 a month. You also get 1 day access early to the videos. 1 day access early? That didn't work. 1 day early access to the videos. Instead of coming out on next Thursday, for example, the next video, you'll get to see it on Wednesday for my channel members. There's also a Discord where we can chat and have a laugh, and sometimes, most of the time, see pictures of the builds before the videos come out. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a cheeky little comment. Let me know what you thought of the builds, and maybe any suggestions for the Opala coming up in the next one. Again, thank you all for watching. Have a beautiful day, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.